Good morning. Welcome to the first of five conversations in the Business Council of British Columbia series ESG in BC, an opportunity for a sustainable economy. I'd like to acknowledge that this morning I'm coming to you from the Vancouver offices of the Business Council, located on the traditional territory of the Coast Salish people, specifically the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. And we thank them for the privilege of gathering on their traditional territory for this important conversation today. We have an exciting lineup of speakers today from across the province, the country, and indeed across the Atlantic Ocean. And they're going to share with us their perspectives on the constant evolution of ESG and the shifting investor expectations, growing Indigenous self-determination through a path of economic independence, and the transformative climate solutions being advanced by global and local firms here at home. As we explore through the series, ESG, environmental, social, and governance metrics, is a rapidly evolving way of thinking about the material impacts of business and the opportunity of measuring these actions to add to a community and a company's prosperity and value. Much of this is not new, as for most people and businesses in British Columbia, the values and principles inherent in ESG are already ingrained into so much of how we think, how we do it, and how we look at the world. However, as this approach evolves, British Columbia has an opportunity to differentiate ourselves with purpose. Building on our advantages as a source for low carbon energy and natural resource exports, world-leading innovations, and our global gateway and smart connected infrastructure and supply chains. We have a diverse population of internationally talented and education population, as well as recognized post-secondary institutions leading the world. And so over the course of this morning and throughout the five-part series, the Business Council will convene global, national, provincial, and local leaders from industry, government, Indigenous communities, and academia to examine the risks, evaluate opportunities, and to define a path forwards as a more sustainable economy for the benefit of British Columbians and our shared prosperity. The goal of this series is to understand those trends, identify the best practices, and purposely move BC forward to attract more than our fair share as a host of some of the $100 trillion of committed ESG capital globally, while seizing the opportunities through common purpose and boldness as the world rebounds from the pandemic. The Business Council is privileged to have as member businesses that from across our economy and every sector of it, we're demonstrating true leadership in sustainability while also contributing to a more prosperous province for those who live and work and invest here. Many of those members are also leaders in advancing ESG processes within their own companies and communities. Many of them are also sponsors of this important conversation we're having through the series. I'd like to thank the law firm Bennett Jones and their local managing partner, Rada Kirpin, who you'll hear from in a moment, and the team at Bennett Jones for stepping up as our lead sponsor and partner in delivering this series. As well, I'd like to thank all of our generous sponsors that played such an important role in developing this series and bringing it to you. It's an opportunity to contribute together to advance ESG, our discussions, and showcase our strengths over the coming months. So please mark your calendar for the upcoming events in the series. The first after this, on June 17th, join us for a conversation that's co-hosted by the Chartered Professional Accountants of BC on the latest trends and insights in governance, metrics, materiality, and reporting of ESG. These are key to success of the inputs and outputs. On September 21st, along with global container terminals, we will be discussing supply chain integrity, our low carbon export opportunities, and the importance of meaningful stakeholder and community partnerships that combine support greater diversity, inclusivity in our workplaces, and with Indigenous partners and communities. And on October 7th, along with Deloitte, we will be exploring opportunities for sustainable infrastructure and digitally connected technology and clean technology within the region and across the province. And on October 19th, our concluding series, sponsored by TELUS, will co-host a wrap-up of the event and look at the path forward for ESG in BC and the purposeful steps we can take on policy, through business, and through community to reach our full potential. I want to also thank Wheaton Precious Metals. All of our events will be carbon neutral, enabling us to purchase offsets because of their sponsorship to make this carbon footprint for our attendees, speakers, and staff at net zero. We thank them for their partnership and ability to do that. In addition, we're building out a microsite to share the information and the conversations we're having so we can build and also succeed in an ESG world. We'll be sharing that written and video content through esginbc.ca. And we thank the Canadian Western Bank for being our video sponsor that is going to help us tell the stories of BC ESG leadership and community impact, as well as the innovation that we're seeing in British Columbia through this series. So be sure to join us for the conversation, not only today, but over the coming months, and share your ESG stories.